Hello, good morning. My name is Alejandra Garzon. I'm going talking about energy flow. Energy flow in an ecosystem goes from one organism to another through food chains and trophic networks, with a smaller amount remain in the last organism that consumes it. In order for an ecosystem to function, it needs an energy contribution that reaches the biosphere primarily in the form of light energy, which comes from the sun and is commonly called energy flow. Food change. Food change it describes the process of transfer of nutrients through the different species of biological community. In food chains, we can find a specific order to follow so that energy can flow properly. First, it starts with the autotrophers, or also called producers, which means they can make their own food. They are a plant. They absorb energy from the sun, so they are the protagonists of the chain, and that energy that is a mix with the other compounds that passes to the other animals. This energy helps living beings to develop their natural function. So, if we continue to observe the order of the change, we find in the second and third stage the organisms that need to obtain their food by external means, such as eating producers of the other animals instead. They are known as heterophiles or also as consumers, and in a line which each stage there are called so primary, secondary, and tertiary consumers. And then of the change, we can find the decomposers, whose names explains for itself its function to decompose the organisms, and with it the nutrients returned to the plants to begin again. The food web is the one that represents and describes process where energy is transferred within the different species of an ecosystem. Unlike the food chain, which describe a unique way of flow, the food webs have different ways of the flow, and it's basically the union of several food chains. But they also have the trophic levels that were mentioned before. The difference here is that in food web you see something more general describing the flow of energy. Also, you can see that the food chains look almost like a cycle, and food webs don't. They look more like a diagram that shows how energy is transferred. Energy pyramids are the graphical model to represent the flow of energy among the ecosystems. These pyramids are composed of links in which we can see each trophic levels, starting from the bottom where we can see the processors to the top, where we can find quaternary or even quinary consumers. Basically, it is very important to know everything about energy flow and more deep. Our duties as human beings must be to understand that ecosystem is a system as a complex as it is sensitive, and that if we affect or variety the condition of the physical environment, we end up altering all the elements in it, causing change in both the organization and function of the systems, irreversible damage. That is what is happening with all this problem of climate change. By helping the environment, we can save our lives and that of all living beings. Finally, it is very difficult to answer that question because all the information is important about energy flow, but the most interesting thing is how change develop, how everything has a perfect cycle. It is fascination to know that ecosystems are transformed into several cycles and becoming composite materials formed by both physical and chemical characteristics producing life cycles because all those cycles what they produce is life and is wonderful. I love the topic and it's very easy to fall in love with it. Thank you so much.